What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty behind the camera, and sitting in front of us is the 2024 Volvo XC40 Recharge. Now, for 2024, the XC40 Recharge gets a range bump, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. But kind of an overview of what this video is going to talk about. We are going to go over all of the features that this XC40 Recharge has, starting off on the exterior. We'll then pop the hood, see what's under there, and kind of discuss our powertrain options. We'll then pop the trunk, see how much storage space there is in there, check out the rear seats and also the front seats, and we'll kind of get a really good feeling on all of the features that this XC40 Recharge has to offer. Now, this is a plus trim level, so kind of right in the middle of the trim spectrum. It also has the cold weather package and the nicely upgraded wheels on this one too, so just an idea on what we're working with this car. And in case you're curious on how the XC40 Recharge drives, I have done a video on that too. So there will be a completely separate video on my channel, Ty Drives, where I've strapped a GoPro to my head and take the XC40 Recharge for a test drive, kind of put it through its paces. But back to the features. First off, we're going to start off here with the headlamps. They are full LED units. Both of your high and low beams are LEDs, daytime running lights, and turn signals are all LED powered, and this even has the pretty cool pixel lights. Well, that's pretty neat. Fioid blue, I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly, is the color on this car, so kind of the XC40 Recharge Launch Edition color. And then we also have some nice LED fog lamps down below. Parking sensors span the front bumper, and then we also have a kind of closed off grille here for the Recharge model, and the little camera right at the base of the Volvo emblem. Now, the XC40 is of course available in a gasoline powered model, but this is our fully electric one. Taking a look up at our hood, we have some pretty prominent creases, pretty small hood, and it dips down to the grille very nicely. We also have some black trim that goes all the way around the wheel arches and down the side to protect your paint. And we have the optional 20-inch wheels on this car. I think that's a very nice looking wheel setup on this car. 235/45 is what the front tires measure up at, and we have these large kind of machined portions and then black pockets on the inside. So very nice looking wheel and tire setup on this car. Looking down the side, we have black accents all the way around the windows, and even our entire roof is black with our roof rails and the mirror covers, so lots of black accents on this car. In between our roof rails, we see we have a nice panoramic roof, which is actually opens, contrary to some of the other electric cars in the market. There's also a shark fin antenna back there too. Taking a look at the other side of our mirrors, we have turning indicators on them, which are LED, and then we also have our blind spot warning indicator there too. And right underneath, we have a set of cameras, one on either side, for your 360 view. All four of our door handles have smart key entry too, so you see this little indentation right there. You just put your hand right there and it'll lock the vehicle, and just put your hands behind the handle to unlock. Quick view at our window sticker behind this deeply tinted glass. Features are all of our plus features. We have the climate package and trunk extension spoiler, protection package, pixel technology headlights, the 20-inch wheels, and with destination we're looking at a $61,400 sticker price. And it looks like the EPA estimates 254 miles for this all-wheel drive model. Now you can't get it in rear-wheel drive, which is just one single engine, and we're looking about 290 miles to a single charge, so definitely that's the more range-conscious model to get. But if you could sacrifice a little bit of all-wheel drive for the a little bit less range, then this is definitely the way to go, because we got some good power under the hood, or powering to the wheels, I should say. Nice charge port. You can just open it up really easy. We have the fast charging kind of cover on there. Taking a look back here, pretty much full LEDs back here too. So we have the tail lights, brake lights are LED powered, and then we have the turn signals, which are kind of a normal bulb. Back here, very classy design with your chrome emblems. We also have rear fog lights back here too, parking sensors across the rear. And as we can see, this vehicle was provided by Valenti Volvo Cars in Watertown, Connecticut. They were kind enough to lend me this car for a couple hours for filming. I'm sure they'll be kind enough to help you out with your next Volvo purchase, so make sure you consider them. Right above our plate frame, we have the reversing camera and your trunk release. And then we can see our powertrain badge. So what do we think of the design on the XC40 Recharge? Now, ever since the XC40 came out a few years ago, it's always been this kind of quirky, really cool, niche kind of Volvo, and it's just a really cool car. I personally really like the design, both inside and outside. Let me know your thoughts on the design in the comments. So, under the hood of the XC40 Recharge, the big question is, does it have storage under here? And yes, it does have a little bit. We'll get to that in just a minute, and I think under the hood would probably be the best part to talk about powertrain options on the XC40 Recharge. Now, as I said before, you can get a gasoline kind of mild hybrid XC40 that's called the B5 powertrain, but we're going to focus this on the two electric powertrains. Now, what we have here is all-wheel drive, one motor at each axle, making it all-wheel drive. They call it the twin motor, very fitting. 402 horsepower on this one, 494 pound-feet of torque. So this is quite the powerhouse for a small vehicle like this. Just about 254 miles of range, as I said before, and again, we have all-wheel drive. Now, the other engine option is a kind of single-motor rear-wheel drive. 248 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque on that one, so still pretty healthy numbers. And of course, like I said earlier, you get a range bump with that. It's 293 miles of range, and again, rear-wheel drive. So a couple of different pretty interesting powertrain options for the XC40. And if you're interested in seeing a gasoline-powered XC40 review, check my channel, as we filmed one just a few months ago. Let's take a look at under this cover here and see how much room we have. So actually a pretty decent amount of space. You can remove this kind of divider that's in here. They put that in, I believe, just due to regulation, as you can't have too much space before having a kind of like a I'm trapped release button. But pretty decent amount of space and some pretty cool powertrains. Power trunk lid on the XC40 Recharge, and once you open it up, it has a nice wide opening. Now, the XC40 Recharge actually has a sister car, and it's called the C40 Recharge. Kind of a coupe version of this car, so if you want more storage space, this is definitely the one to get, as it's more of a traditional kind of boxy SUV style. But as far as the trunk goes, we have a nice cargo shade that'll hook in up top, which you could remove so no people look in and can see what you have in your storage area. And we have a nice rubber mat, part of that protection package. Underneath, you can lift up the cargo floor. See that there's actually some tools under there and some storage too. And this will also act as kind of like a cargo divider. So if you can kind of put it in those slots and divide up your cargo area. And the coolest thing about this is these little hooks here turn into grocery bag hangers. So that's pretty neat. We do have cargo tie downs in each corner of the trunk, and some pockets towards the rear. Got a 12-volt power outlet back here, and you can fold the rear seats down in a 60/40 fashion. We also have a pass-through where the armrest is. So pretty roomy cargo space in the XC40 Recharge. Once we're done in here, we have a couple of buttons here, one to lock the vehicle and close the trunk, or one to just simply close the trunk. Here's our first look at the interior of the XC40 Recharge with the rear seats. We'll check those out first. On our door panel, we have this pretty neat design. It kind of comes down in this leatherette sort of material, so we have a nice soft armrest. We also have this pretty neat window that kind of flares up like so. Just due to the design of the car, just kind of fit everything in. We have a pretty cool looking door handle. 8 speakers in this car too, so pretty good sound system. And kind of opposite to this other C shape is opposite C shape with some pretty neat carpeting. We have a lock unlock button up here, your window switch, and a bit of storage down below with a couple of speakers on the rear door. We have a little pocket here too to put smaller things upon entry, and very nice interior. So the XC40 Recharge will essentially get the R Designs interior, which means you have this nice suede, some contrast stitching, and some really soft kind of leatherette material with the seating. So, and the way you fold down these seats is a little latch right here. It'll fold down the armrest, and as you can see, the cargo floor is now flat with the folding down of the seats, so you could put some pretty large items in there. You of course have a center armrest, which you can fold down. It has a couple cup holders, and just behind this carpeting here is where you can fold down the center pass-through. We have a nice large panoramic roof and pretty good amount of space in the back of this XC40. Actually a surprising amount. Top back here now. Now for reference, I'm about 5'10", and I adjusted this seating position a little bit further back than what I'm used to driving. And take a look at that. Still got a couple inches of legroom. We have storage on each of the backs of the front seats. We even have air vents back here too, which you can adjust and turn on and off. We have heated seats back here thanks to the climate package, and also 2 USB-C chargers at the bottom. Now width-wise back here, it's not the largest vehicle, so you can definitely fit somebody in the third seat here, just not for too long. We have a full black cloth headliner up here, a very nice continuation of the sunroof, and we also have some LED lighting back here too. Okay, so here's our very first look at the driver's cockpit. Let's take a look at the door panel first. So we do have some extra buttons from out back. Again, we have that very nice panel here with the soft touch material and the carpet that goes all the way along in a huge storage area that runs the span of the bottom of the door panel. So that's pretty nice. We also have this trim here, which kind of on the daytime looks like a cheap looking plastic, but it's layered, and there's actually ambient lighting behind it. So each layer kind of gives off a different amount of light. It's very cool. In the nighttime, you can definitely see it pretty awesome. Not so much now, but at the nighttime, it's really where it shines. Nice door handles, 2-person memory for the driver's seat. We have all of our mirror adjustments, and we also have power folding mirrors. We have our window controls and our window lockout there. On the left of the dash, we have an air vent, also a control there to pop your trunk and to put some credit cards or your driver's license, something like that, right in there. Down here we have our pedal box and our hood release right there with the Recharge emblem right there down towards the bottom. Very nice looking driver's seat again with that suede and leatherette contrast stitching and even some white piping there too. Very comfortable seats with the suede, and we have all of our normal adjustments with 4-way lumbar, and you can also extend your thigh extensions there, so that's pretty nice. And let's hop in and take a look at all the technology that this XC40 Recharge has. Alright, so here we are seated in the XC40 Recharge. And here's the key for it, pretty traditional Volvo key with the emblem on the front. And buttons on the side, we have the lock, unlock, trunk release, and a panic alarm. And you also have this little switch, which will essentially kind of take apart the key, and so you have access to a physical key. But to quote-unquote start the XC40 Recharge, all you really need to do is get in. It will kind of default to this. It'll get your climate control going, your heated steering wheel, heated seats going, and to kind of really initialize the start of the vehicle, all you need to do is really just put it in drive or reverse. So that's essentially how it's done. There's really no start-stop button. There's actually a blank switch right here where it would be on a regular XC40. But let's take a look at what's right in front of us, and that is the steering wheel first. So we have nice leather-wrapped steering wheel. It gets really warm with the heated steering wheel. We have some stitching on the inside, pretty comfortable to hold in your hands, and some bright work. We have all of our adaptive cruise control settings on this side, and media and things like that on this side. So the up and down is for your audio volume, back and forth for the different radio stations. Then we have this button here to slightly customize our digital gauge cluster, and also the top one for your voice commands. On the back of the steering wheel, we have a couple of stalks. This one for your automatic high beams, your regular headlights, your front and rear fog lights, and the turn signals. And this one over here for your front and rear wipers. And that brings me up to our full digital dash. Now, of course, it's fully digital, but it's not too configurable, although it's very nice looking, I will give you that. We have large over here is the speedometer with the digital speedometer and the kind of speed limit sign right there. Up here we have some driver's information, the headlight controls, seatbelt warnings, exterior temperature, and also right down here your percentage and mileage of range. And over here we have our power versus charge and the what gear we're in. Now, if we press this little page button here, we can pull up the Google Maps, which is very nice. And that is kind of your base for the navigation system, is the Google Maps. And then we can also press this central button up here to get some trip settings and things like that. But really, that is it for the customization of this screen. Again, very nice looking screen, just not all that configurable. Taking a look up here, we have a nice soft touch dash, and that brings me down to our Google-based audio touchscreen here. So we have a Google Maps up top, and once we get that all activated, we can start entering destinations and things like that, and we can also kind of find charging stations and things. So if you're planning a trip, it'll kind of plan where to stop at a charging station. It is pretty cool. I have a home button right down here, and it'll bring us to our audio screen. So if we click on a random station here, let's go with 92.5. That'll of course start playing, and then you could pull up what's playing here. We have different sources, of course, your presets and things like that. We have our phone screen right down there, and also our Google Assistant, which is pretty cool. So you can just say, "Hey Google," and then you can have it do whatever you like. A pull-down menu from the top where you can log in and kind of set up some users and some different software updates and things like that. You also have a driving journal, which is pretty cool. Some other settings towards the bottom here where you can pull up all of your different apps. So we can see we have YouTube, and then you can see that driving journal, which is pretty cool. All of your different sources for the radio. We do have Apple CarPlay in the car, your Google Assistant, also your Range Assistant, which is pretty cool. It gives you a nice menu there. We have your car status, which has to do with your tire pressures and things like that. And then we also have a service screen. Air quality screen. Then we also have a digital owner's manual and the Google Play Store to download different apps. We can pull up our cameras right here with that button. This will display kind of our reversing camera, and we can also toggle on and off your rear auto braking and the parking sensors from that screen. And if you press the 360 view, it'll bring up the 360 view in a nice large fashion. If you tap at any side, we can get the side cameras for the wheels, and you can also pull up the front cameras. And all these cameras, of course, have the guidance lines which will predict your path. So pretty nice camera system in this car. Right down here we have our heated seats, heated steering wheel, and obviously for the driver and for the passenger. We also have our climate menu, and we can decrease and increase the temperature quickly right there. But if you click on the temperature itself, it'll bring up your full climate control menu. So we could do the main climate, and then you can also adjust the parking climate, which is pretty cool. Defrosters up top, AC settings, where you want the air to blow right in the center there. Our fan speed right here. Different temperatures, dual zone climate control, and you can also sync them right there. So pretty nice. We have a couple of quick settings that I'd like to go through with you guys as well. Some driving settings. We have an off-road mode. We can toggle on and off our safety assistance here, and also our one pedal drive. So you can put it on an on, off, or an automatic. You can also toggle on a steering wheel firmness feeling, which is a different way to put it, but definitely nice to have that option. So we're going to leave the one pedal drive on during our test drive. Again, make sure you check out that test drive video so you can see how it works. We have some charging settings here. We could set our charging limit, timers, current state of charge. We have our sound settings, which you can adjust. We have our connectivity, different controls that you can go through. Lots and lots of different settings in this car. But once you purchase the vehicle, get it home, you can go through all of that good stuff. But that's pretty much the gist of the screen, just a general overview. It's very simple, very easy to get used to with that screen there. Just below, we have a small array of buttons. We have our hazards, our quick defrosters for the front and rear, and that's skipping between our different tracks, and a nice big audio volume knob right there. Just below the array of buttons, we have some connections. So we have a 12-volt power outlet, 2 USB chargers, a wireless phone charger for your phone, which is very nice, and some storage to either side, and some hidden storage right in there. We have our little small gear selector here for the, obviously, single-speed transmission in this car. And it's actually hollow, so look at that. That's pretty cool. And we just bump it right down for drive, bump it straight up for reverse, and of course our sensors and the reverse camera will activate. And we just press the P for park, and that will actually automatically activate your emergency brake. So you can see there's really no control in here to manually operate that emergency brake, and it's all kind of routed through here. Right over here we have a couple of cup holders, and if we lift up our storage area here, we can see there's quite a bit of storage in there. And we can even remove this tray here, and use as a garbage pail, since you can remove it and just kind of place things in there. On the passenger side, we can see we have some more of that light up trim, which is really cool. And the glove box is nice and large, and it's even got a shelf up there so you can put your owner's manual in there. And you could flip this out, so it's kind of like a hook for your bags. That's pretty cool. We of course do have the full black headliner with your sun visors. So we have the light and the mirror with a card holder. Nice frameless mirror with the garage door openers, and we also have all LED lights in here too, and they're kind of tap sensitive with a kind of full on and off button in the center. SOS emergency controls, and we also have this slider for the sunroof. So once that opens up, it's nice. And again, as I said before, you can actually open this sunroof up. So a lot of EVs are coming with like a fixed panel of glass which you can't open, and some of them even don't even have sunshades. So this one you can tilt and slide open, which is very nice. But that pretty much does it for all the features on the XC40 Recharge. Join us for our POV driving review. I think you'll be intrigued by the way this drives. It definitely has lots and lots of power. But I hope you have enjoyed this video just as much as I have making it. And I also hope you stick with us here at Time Drives for more videos just like this one.